maintenant d'accueillir Fatima Zahra Ben Barakchi, qui nous vient de Rabat, de l'Université Mohamed VI Polytechnique, et qui est spécialiste de la dyslexie en arabe. Et c'est la créatrice d'une police de caractère qui a été élaborée pour des apprentis lecteurs dyslexiques en arabe. Cette police qui s'appelle Arabolexia. Fatima Zahra va nous faire la conférence en anglais.
Sorry about that.
Mais non, très bien. Contexte plurilingue.
Okay. Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you for this beautiful organization on such a beautiful topic. Why my natural voice is not well heard? Oh, that's okay. Do you hear me? Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. So I'm Fatima Zahra Ben Barakchi, professor at the School of Collective Intelligence, University Mohammed VI Polytechnic. So I'm a computer scientist and I work in the field of education, and I'm more interested in special education, including children with learning disabilities, such as dyslexia and also autism. So today, I will talk about dyslexia, but more particularly in Morocco, in an Arabic context. And here is the outline for today's talk. So I will start by talking about a little bit about dyslexia across languages and how it manifests itself differently across cultures and languages. And then I will move on to the innovation in education support, means some tools that have been designed especially for our target group, including special funds. And I will share with you it's a series of studies that I've been conducting in the past, and I'm still working on it. And it's focused on dyslexia in Arabic with in a Moroccan context. And yeah, the future direction. Okay, so as was mentioned before, that dyslexia, which had a lot of challenges and makes people or children unable to read despite their skills acquired in the classroom that make them unable to develop techniques and tools to learn to read and write. So these challenges cause problems forming words correctly, such as reversing sounds in words or confusion with words that sound alike, similar sounds, problems remembering or naming letters, numbers and colors, difficulty in spelling, confusion between different sounds in words, failure to recognize familiar words, attention difficulties, and also increased. So all these challenges make dyslexic children or makes the reading task extremely difficult, and of course it affects the comprehension. And as you know that this depends also on the nature of the language that we are learning to read and to write. And as you know that languages are split into or are categorized into two forms. We have the transparent languages and deep orthographies or non-transparent languages. So as an example, in opaque languages or non-transparent languages such as French and English, you can see here that there is or the connection between words and sound, it's less direct, which makes it more complex and instance more complex. So you can see that you may notice that people or children with dyslexia make different types of errors, and depending on the language that they learn. So studies are conducted in dyslexia in English and French. So all other opaque orthographies that leads to significant insight, meaning that the consistent letter-sound relationship make reading accusations slower and more difficult compared to transparent language. Also, in opaque languages, children with dyslexia take longer to learn basic reading skills than dyslexic children in more transparent languages. So yeah, and unlike English, we have transparent orthography such as Spanish, Italian, Finnish, and German, which they have like a direct direction between sound and words. Yeah, maybe. So because I'm not sure about it. So yeah, this connection makes reading a little bit easier compared to other languages, or I mean, opaque languages with a non-transparent orthography. And studies in transparent languages highlight that dyslexic individuals make fewer reading errors than in deep orthographies. However, they still experience reading difficulties, mainly in speed, reading speed, rather than accuracy or reading error. So yeah, in contrast to English, where dyslexic readers struggle with word recognition and phoneme inconsistent, dyslexic readers is in transparent or deep orthography can decode words but read more slowly. Yeah. Okay, so here is a question for you. So if you are dyslexic while reading English, are you dyslexic while reading Arabic? So it's been already elaborated or mentioned in the previous talk. But yeah, so this question, it depends mainly about what we know about the language and also our brain. And as you know that dyslexia has a neurocognitive basis. That means that if you are dyslexic in one language, it's more likely to be in another language. But as we said before, the complexity and the diversity of language, this is what makes reading challenging for dyslexic children and also for the manifestation of dyslexia. But yeah, in transparent language, we can notice that children with dyslexia make a fewer errors but compared to non-transparent language, but they still have difficulties in phonological awareness, also rapid naming and short memory or memory difficulties. Well, an important thing here, so I want to mention that maybe as been also mentioned in the previous talk, is about the phonological awareness in dyslexia, and this fact that dyslexic children tend to have or tend to do like have a more phonological errors, that the frequency of phonological errors are higher than visual error. And this maybe it's due to that the quality and the great quantity of research that have been conducted in speaking in English speaking countries, where we can find errors or phonological errors are more frequent than visual errors. So yeah, for instance, in Chinese children, where what you can dyslexic children, and in a recent study mentioned that Chinese children, they have or they make or we can they mentioned that dyslexic children tend to have more phonological sensitivity compared to or no, it's the opposite, that they have in visuals that is remarkable, like we can have more visual errors or visual sensitivity compared to phonological awareness. So, and this was explained by a lot of theories that tend to explain the origin of dyslexia, such as the phonological theory, the visual theory, and so on. And one important thing about the visual theory is what we call the excessive visual crowding. So this theory means that, or the crowding means that when you present items or elements to people, like to everyone. They have this ability, or they may be enabled to identify letters when they are embedded or when they are around similar items. And in reading, a strong crowding means when you present a word with like letters that are around letters, and especially poor readers or young readers, and also dyslexic readers may this can be like severe, because this is the inability to identify the word when they are each other, or we are embedded. So the same thing is work mentioned in this in the study, sorry, where the crowded effect was investigated by Spinelli study, when they used like two groups, dyslexic group and the control, and they both read a series of words, one word like in a default font and a default space, and another series of words when words they are embedded. And they noticed that dyslexic tend to be more sensitive to crowding, and the same results were observed when they replicated the study, but this time not with letters but with objects and symbols. So means that dyslexic children tend to be more sensitive to crowding compared to typical reading or children without dyslexia. So, and lately there have been a growing evidence that children with dyslexia are more influenced by crowding than control, and even that is under optimal viewing conditions. And interestingly, that some studies been showing that crowding can be modulated, means that we can manipulate the text by space. So when we can increase the space between letters or between words, this can reduce the crowd. So yes, this will lead us to what we call dyslexia-friendly fonts. So lately there have been like growing evidence about in this field of when we create a special font for dyslexic users or dyslexic children, and this is based on some ideas and theories. That means that it's about the visual theory of dyslexia, and also the crowding effect. But yeah, it would be like as a revolution if we can say that a special font can make reading easier for children with dyslexia. Well, this was a special font called Dyslexie, was invented in 2018 by Dutch artist Christian Boer, when he presented for the first time this special font, and how this special font can help readers to reduce errors and also accelerate the readability. Means the time will reduce also the time, and this will improve the reading experience of readers with dyslexia. So at that time, this font had received a lot of attention in the media, and then the schools began to use this font, and in printed books, and also in some environment learning or learning environments. So yeah, but at that time there wasn't like no experimental studies or empirical evidence that show the effectiveness of this font. It means that we need to test this font not by observation, but we need evidence showing that this font or other fonts are effective. So, and later, many fonts and special fonts have been designed with the same idea. It's to reduce or to improve the reading experience by reducing the amount of spelling errors, and also to increase reading, to decrease the reading time. So as an example, it was Open Dyslexia, and simple, regular, and I'm sure that there are a list of special fonts that have been designed just to help children with dyslexia. Well, this is another example, but it's different. It's dyslexic interface, which was developed by Daniel Britton in 2015. But this was acted to be difficult. It means this font removed a 50%. You can see here in the with the in the red color, removed 40% for the script, just to make reading difficult and to show us how children with dyslexia can see letters and can read. Well, you can see that we can read this, right? It's dyslexia with one word, but what about a text? When we have a text, we can. It's challenging. So yeah, you can see that the idea of a special font seems simple but smart, but is it really effective? So this is what we're gonna see in the next slide. Yeah, but just it's not worth noting that most of the studies have been conducted in Latin-based language such as English. Yeah, here this is like a little or a few studies that's been conducted in specific area, and this was conducted in different languages like Italian, Dutch, English, Spanish, Russian also, and they used special fonts. They compared the fonts with like regular fonts like Arial and Times New Roman, just to compare the effectiveness of the special font. But as you can see for the outcomes, the results are really contradictory. You can see that the effect of this facilitatory effect of this font is not observed, because you can see a contradictory result. While some show a positive effect, other studies show negative effects. Sorry, there is no negative effects, only no effect. It means that they're the same. Others show positive effects, but some studies show that only when we change or we manipulate the spacing, this means between letters or between words, the effects or the facilitative effects of this special font disappear. So yeah, and we conclude that while we are going to make a new font and change the letter, the shape, we can only manipulate the space. Because here the special fonts have two main characteristics. Or the first one is that the shape of the letter is a little bit different, because it makes the role is to has to make this difference between similar letters. When we can change the shape of the letter for similar letters, like in English, B and D and P and Q, just to change a little bit in the shape. And the second characteristic is the spacing. It has like an interspacing between letters and also between words. Well, yeah, another question. So, would this be a reason to expect across linguistic differences in the efficacy of dyslexia-friendly fonts? So, this is what I'm trying to investigate in these studies, showing that if we can have evidence that this kind of fonts can ameliorate reading experience, but most of these studies is conducted in English-speaking countries or in Latin-based languages. How about Arabic, which is totally a different language, is a Semitic language that has specific characteristics, and that, as was mentioned in the slide, in the talk before, the writing system, the Arabic that we call it, it's like very different to English and other Latin-based languages. So just here, maybe you're already familiar with the language, but I just want to mention some key elements that characterize Arabic. So Arabic is one of the largest member of the Semitic languages family, and it's written in an alphabetic system consisting of 28 letters, when only 25 consonants and only 3 vowels. As was mentioned, these 3 vowels, we call it long vowels. Arabic has different form in different position in the word. They change their form according to their position in the word. Either the letter is initial in the beginning of the word, in the middle, at the end, or in an isolate where it's alone. Also, other important notes about letter connectivity. Some letters are connected with each other and others are isolated. We have diacritical marks, what we call here short vowels. These short vowels, it's just some marks that we put in the like you can see here. It's written Arabic and is Arabic. It's the same form, but this one without short vowels and this one with short vowels. So the short vowels help the reader to for the right pronunciations and also the right synthetical according to the text. And skilled readers are expected to read without short vowels, while poor readers, or maybe we can say beginner readers, in school books, and when they start to learn Arabic, they learn with these short vowels, with these marks, or diacritical marks. Yes, so this leads us to say that Arabic is considered as transparent and non-transparent orthography language. We can say that it's an opaque or transparent language because in the absence of short vowels, it will be difficult to read, while with short vowels, it seems like as a transparent language. Just another illustration to show you the role of these short vowels. Here you can see with the same script, but different short vowels that may lead us to different meaning. Okay. Well, here an interesting point to bring is that Arabic is considered as or the Arabic diglossia. I don't know if you heard before about this word, but diglossia means when the existence of two distinct varieties. Like in Arabic, we have modern standard Arabic, which is a formal way when we learn first Arabic in the schools and use them in some formal institutions like schools, governments, and we use in a formal way. But we have the dialects or local spoken dialect, or what we call also in Morocco we have the Darija. It's it's an informal dialect or that we use with our friends. We use at home with our family, and this dialect it differs from a region to another. Like the dialects in the North Morocco are not the same for the South region. Okay, enough about that because we have also other things like Tamazight, which is Berber, which is way different to Darija and classical Arabic. So this makes reading extremely difficult, especially for children with dyslexia. In this study, we're just comparing children with dyslexia and without dyslexia while reading at because like the security of researching this field, this was encouraged us to do more studies in this. So here we have, I don't know if the sound gonna work, but we will try. So this is a dyslexic child reading. Well, this is the first one is this is a child with 11 years old, and this one is the age with the same age but without dyslexia. Really? Yeah, when we compared the spelling errors, like the results were extremely significant, statistically significant, which led us also to analyze the types of errors that children with dyslexia make in Arabic. You can see the huge percentage of phonological errors, and this includes long and short vowels. We have transposition, addition, omission, and we have grammatical errors, which also interesting because this is due to the short vowels were not, if they are not presented in the text. Yeah, and add new vowels. So this is they need new new words when they are reading. They just guess it, and they can invent a new word that it's not existent in the text. So the same thing with here. It's a dictation task when the two groups, dyslexic and age-matched group, were having a dictation task. So you can see also the same thing that's a huge difference, and it's significantly difference between the two groups. And here are just like the one that you mentioned before, and you can see a comparison between an age-matched control and a dyslexic child. It's just an illustration, another example. Yeah, for the analysis of the types of error while they are writing, you can see different types of error, which we can see we have specific errors that are related to the language, like errors with specific words, like you can see here for the phonological, the noun termine, which is different, like letter. And there are specific errors like difficulties with types of some specific scripts. And okay, yeah. Yes, so most of this previous studies about dyslexia-friendly fonts were conducted in Latin languages such as English, Dutch, Spanish, French, Italian, and Bosnian. But dyslexia, as you can see, that it manifests itself differently from speakers of various languages. For this reason, and due to the scarcity of research in this field, I've been working on a special font called Arabulexia that was created, and I created this font for speaking Arabic individuals with dyslexia, just with the hope that this font could help and improve the reading experience of children with dyslexia while reading Arabic text. So yeah, Arabulexia was the first special font for dyslexic in Arabic. So it was in 2019 or 2020. So yeah, an important question was whether there would be reason to expect cross-linguistic differences in the efficacy of dyslexia-friendly fonts. And yeah, this is a comparison between simplified Arabic, which is a well-known and a well-used font in Arabic, and this is the font that I created, which is Arabulexia. You can see the difference between the two fonts, which is the shape of the letter, the spacing, and the dots, also some kind of characteristics of some scripts. Well, yeah, when this study was conducted in 2021, when I compared the reading performance of two groups while they are reading with dyslexia and with simplified Arabic, here is an illustration to show you the role or what this font will add. As you can see, if we have similar letters, these colors mean that we have two different letters, and while they are with each other or in the same line, so just prevent readers turn on the letter or to flip them to the ground and reduce the similarity of the letters. So just another example, different letter. Yes, so this study, it was conducted in a simple way where dyslexic children, they give reading a text, and the session was audio recorded. But for this study, we have 3 groups, dyslexic group, age-matched control, and skilled reader, where they're given text. And what we measure is that reading, comprehension, and subjective questions, meaning that did you like this font or not, and would you like to use it in virtual environments or in textbooks. So yeah, for the as I can see here, comparison between the groups means that this is only for the accuracy, means that the number of errors are reducing when they are using Arabolexia. The same thing for the other group, but only for dyslexic group that was significant or statistically significant results. That only for accuracy, and accuracy means the number of errors they are making. But there was no effect was observed in readability. It means the speed. It's still the same, and also for comprehension. So yeah, and previous studies also didn't lead to show that there is an effect on comprehension. But for other Latin languages, they show that there is an effect on time, but this differs on from in language to another. About subjective questions, so yeah, I remember that most of the children with dyslexia or younger children, they like the font, but they said that this one, it looks bizarre, it looks big, and it looks for that is designed especially for young kids. Same thing for skilled reader, where they are adults. They like it, but they won't use it in the text or in the learning environment, saying that it seems that this is just designed for kids. Well, so now the question that you should ask now is if results of studies shown that there is an effective ways or results concerning the accuracy or the readability, but what makes this special fonts special? So we're here, like many studies have been carried out just to answer this question. So what makes reading easier? Reading easier for dyslexic while they are using this special font. So they try to investigate the encrypted letter spacing. Some studies investigated the answer letter spacing, and others the between word spacing, sometimes the lines, colors, the font size, and other elements, just to understand what makes this font efficient. So yeah, the same study, we just finished this study, which is here when I try to investigate, is it possible to simply change the font spacing setting instead of altering the shape of the Arabic script? So this was the objective of this study that has just been published, where I investigated the role of spacing in this special font. Well, the study was conducted as below, where we have a group of dyslexic children. We are reading 4 texts with 4 conditions. The first condition, which is Arabo-dyslexia default text. The second condition, which is simplified Arabic, which is the comparison font, with overall matching. And overall matching, it means the font size and the spacing. Condition number 3, it's only about matching, size matching only. and condition 4, spacing matching. So the reason why I did this or I picked this condition is to check if it's really if there will be a difference between condition 1 and condition 2. It means that the shape of the letter is what make the font special. But if there is a statistically or a difference between condition 1 and 3, it means that the size which is better. But if there is no difference between condition 1 and 4, means that it's only about spacing. Well, yeah, we presented 4 different texts with there were counterbalancing between, we have 4 conditions and 4 stories. And yeah, here is the result. So the reading accuracy means here we calculated the number of correct words. It was significant. The main effects of condition was significant. It means that at least there is a difference between this one with these 4 conditions. So, and the post-hoc analysis showed that between condition 1 and condition 2, there was not significant. It means for the default and the overall matching, it means that when we adjust and we make this adjustment, the effect of the facilitatory effect of the font disappear. It means this can be due to font size or spacing. So this is what condition 3 and 4 will answer. And here that's between condition 1 and 4, they indicated that the difference was not significant, but was only significant with condition 3 and condition 1, leading that the thing is with space. The spacing is the thing that makes the difference between these conditions. While this was about to analyze the reading by age. Well, so this was the about the special font, meaning that I forgot to mention reading speed. Speed means that no effects was mentioned, and there was like no effect for reading speed, but only on accuracy. And this it's and the most important thing that instead of changing the shape of the letter in Arabic, we can only adjust the spacing. But another important question that we hope to answer in our current study that I'm working on right now is what kind of spacing? Is it a between word spacing or a within letter spacing? Just we're looking for the optimal way when dyslexic children while reading Arabic can find like an optimal text with spacing, font size, or a special font. Well, so these are some future direction, which is the current study that I'm designing right now, which is I want to study the effect of spacing. I mean, what kind of spacing using a tracking tool that will, because in the previous study, one of the limitation was that maybe the speed, because we didn't show a significant result in the speed, meaning that maybe this is one possible explanation that maybe the measurement that we were using, just calculating the time spent on reading a text, was not a good choice. And maybe we can use other tools like eye tracking, as previous studies suggest that's a good tool to measure readability and speed. So yeah, in this current study, we are designing another study with different conditions. As you can see here, the default text, and then we have a between word spacing, within word spacing, and overall spacing. And just we want to answer the question: is spacing will make reading easier for children with dyslexia while reading text in Arabic? So, and as a future work, we plan to conduct comprehensive study on the impact of manipulating Arabic texts on the reading performance of Moroccan children with dyslexia in a multilingual context, meaning the French, Darija, Amazigh, which is like it's not easy to do this, but we are trying our best. And additionally, we aim to expand our research to various regions across Morocco, including rural areas. Yeah, and that's all. Thank you so much. Just to show you that in Morocco we use different languages, French, Arabic, Tamazight, English, and also Spanish, unfortunately.
Merci, un énorme merci, Fatima Zahra.